I found myself transformed into a 200-pound female sea king within a Mary Sue narrative. I in an elite academy with 600 male students. She charmed 500 of them. She fancied herself infallible. Yet, she was publicly exposed by her dearest friend, the delicate protagonist, during the opening ceremony. In her shame, she leaped from a height. As fate would have it, I arrived 2 months prior to the revelation.
Ding.
Your support system has been activated. Please check your notifications. Congratulations, you have acquired a farming system. Before I could fully comprehend the implications of the system's announcement, I found myself passively receiving the memories of the original owner. The original owner, Ning Qianqian, was the sole confidant of the protagonist, Si Qianlong, in a Mary Sue novel. If Si Qianlong epitomized a knave flower, then Ning Qianqian represented an ambitious sea queen. In this prestigious institution, where only 600 boys resided, she monopolized 500 of them. Due to her weight of 200 pounds, her parents harbored persistent concerns regarding her prospects for marriage. Ning Qianqian mused that relying solely on her appearance would prove challenging. Thus, she cast her net wide, using an alternate identity to flirt with all 500 boys in her school. You may wonder why she didn't pursue all of them. It was because the messaging app permitted only 500 friends. Consequently, Ning Qianqian busied herself daily, akin to a customer service representative on Taobao. After a period of conversation, several boys expressed curiosity about Ning Qianqian's appearance, requesting her to send them a few photographs. Ning Qianqian was rather audacious. The photos she sent were cleverly cropped to obscure her face. The types of photos varied greatly, some in hanfu, some in JK uniforms, others in Lolita dresses. Yet, the singular commonality among them was that her face remained hidden. Thus, she maintained a harmonious existence with her 500 fish for an entire year. The turning point, however, occurred following the transfer of the protagonist, Si Qianlong. A quintessential Mary Sue protagonist, embodies the archetype of beauty, naivety, and an unwavering sense of justice. She is the most impoverished girl in this prestigious academy, yet the four most influential young gentlemen of the aristocracy are infatuated with her to the point of madness. All the other girls loathe her, ostracizing her and refusing to befriend her. Consequently, seeks out the equally marginalized. However, is acutely aware that befriending would mean opposing the entire female populace of the school. A confrontation she lacks the courage to pursue. Thus, she resolutely declines as overtures. Yet, like a forlorn puppy, persistently clings to, determined to forge a friendship. This situation swiftly reaches the ears of the four young gentlemen. Since parents operate the cafeteria of this elite school, her refusal to befriend would prompt them to sever ties with the family. Although the family possesses numerous other enterprises and is indifferent to the loss of cafeteria rights, S admission to this prestigious institution was secured through her father's extensive connections and exorbitant cafeteria contract. Thus, she finds herself compelled to agree to's friendship. The tropes of a Mary Sue narrative, replete with a hint of kitsch. After spending some time together, discovers that is genuinely imbued with a robust sense of justice. Whenever she perceives wrongdoing, she boldly calls it out, unafraid of the status of her adversaries. This fearless disposition captivates the four young gentlemen. Gradually, comes to regard her as a true confidant. However, this very act of camaraderie ultimately leads toward her demise. During the summer holiday, aspires to earn some money in City A, yet the dormitories are closed. Without hesitation, invites her to stay at her family's villa, sharing meals and living quarters. It is on her first day at the residence that uncovers another mobile phone belonging to, revealing that she has been flirting with 500 male classmates from the elite school. This revelation ignites righteous indignation. Although she yearns to admonish for her misdeeds, her loyalty to her best friend creates a profound internal conflict. Thus, she grapples with this dilemma throughout the summer, residing in the household. Despite sincere affection and her parents treating like a daughter, S' innate sense of justice ultimately prevails. At the opening ceremony of the new semester, she publicly exposes his actions, apologizing on her behalf to the 500 male students. With a fierce sense of righteousness, proclaims, "I hope these 500 gentlemen will not retaliate against. If you cannot let this go, then direct your vengeance towards me, for I am's most steadfast friend." Following this, she turns to and apologizes, "I am sorry. I will face this with you." In a fit of rage, strikes across the face. This act of violence incites the wrath of the four young gentlemen. That very night, they disseminates real photographs and compromising images on the school's forum, is mercilessly ridiculed, along with the 500 boys, while stands outside the boys' dormitory, bowing an apology to each one. overwhelmed by humiliation, contemplates ending her life, and the memory abruptly ceases. Upon absorbing the original owner's memories, I open my eyes to survey my surroundings. It is now deep into the night, and I find myself lying in bed. The room is shrouded in darkness. Yet the moonlight streams through the window, illuminating the space. Stands at my desk, clandestinely perusing my other mobile device. As she glances at the screen, her hand covers her mouth in disbelief as she photographs my chat history. Coldly, I inquire, "What are you doing?" She startles, visibly shaken, and turns to face me, asking, "Why are you doing this?" Though our classmates may bully us, you cannot deceive their affections. You must apologize. When one errs, one must have the courage to admit it. It dawns on me that I have arrived on the very day brought home, the moment she discovered the secrets within's phone. The original, in her deep slumber, remained oblivious to his actions. With an impassive gaze, I command, "Leave my home this instant." A sense of grievance washes over her face as she pleads, "You are my best friend. I cannot stand by as you make mistakes." I am disinclined to engage in further discourse with this na-ve protagonist. Seizing by her hair, I unceremoniously eject her and her unopened suitcase from my family's villa. The original had genuinely regarded her as a friend, providing her with sustenance and shelter throughout the 2-month summer. Yet, despite inner turmoil, she never sought to address the matter with, opting instead to unleash this bombshell at the opening ceremony. Such behavior cannot be deemed friendship. It is more akin to treachery. Having disposed of, I recline on my bed.
Ding.
Your external aid has been successfully dispatched. Please check your notifications. Congratulations. You have acquired a farming system. The system notification echoes in my mind once more, reminding me of the companion that traversed into this narrative alongside me. Indeed, a requisite golden finger for any journey through realms. Instantly, my spirits lift considerably. Farming system. Please cultivate 1 acre of corn within 3 days. 03. I exclaim, "What the actual? I must truly farm?" Farming system. Indeed. I retort, "No way in hell." Farming system. This system has determined that due to your offense against the 4 young gentlemen will impose ruthless economic sanctions on the family in 2 months. In this narrative, they are invincible, and thus the family will soon face bankruptcy. However, this system considers you a glitch in this world, and as long as you fulfill the farming task, their sanctions will be rendered ineffective. If you wish to avoid leaving and homeless, you must farm. I lament, forgive me, the empire you built for me, with 500 allies. And I have yet to savor it. Now I must toil in the fields. By the way, what are the names of the 4 young gentlemen in this novel? Farming system. Eastern hero, Western poison, Southern drive, Northern deviation. I am taken aback. Can you not eliminate them? Their names alone are irksome. Farming system. This system is not a tyrant. I am but a humble farmer, focused solely on cultivation. The following day, I awaken at 5 a.m. to the sound of my alarm. After a brief morning routine, I instruct the driver to take me to the family farm in the suburbs of the family. The farm spans approximately 50 acres, originally purchased by and to establish a high-end agritourism venture, which now serves as my agricultural domain. I dismiss the driver and make my way to the farm. Upon finding the shed for tools, I seize a hoe and proceed to the fields. The sun at 6 in July is already quite scorching. As I scan the landscape, all I see is a sea of yellow earth. After the farming system delineates the size of 1 acre, I commence my labor. The first step, weed removal, followed by digging holes. I begin by hoeing away the weeds in the field and then proceed to create numerous holes. With a spacing of 1 meter between rows and 38 centimeters between each pit, I must dig at least 4,000 holes for just this acre. The depth of the pits is of considerable significance, approximately around 10 to 15 centimeters. At this stage, I nearly lost my life. Sweat rapidly soaked through my clothes, and the blazing sun above left me dizzy and disoriented. My garments became damp and dry, only to repeat this cycle. Just as I felt I could scarcely draw a breath, I finally completed digging the 4,000 pits. From 6 in the morning until midnight, I toiled relentlessly.
Ding.
Today's corn planting task is completed. 13. Task reward. Unlimited energy for 10 hours. When the driver came to pick me up, had I not feared crushing him underfoot, I would have insisted he carry me straight back to my room. Before retiring for the night, I summoned the planting system, inquiring, "What is the purpose of unlimited energy?" The planting system responded, Once unlimited energy is activated, you will possess ample physical and mental stamina. For instance, while working the fields, you may still feel the heat, hunger, and thirst, but you shall not feel fatigued. The duration of unlimited energy can be accumulated and activated at will. I remarked, what a capitalist. And he claims to be a farmer. After a night's rest, my body felt as if it were on the verge of falling apart. While others immerse themselves in novels and indulge in romantic escapades, I, on the other hand, am left feeling utterly exhausted after merely a day of farming. After breakfast, I nearly crawled into the vehicle. Upon arriving at the farm, I finally dared to activate the unlimited energy. In an instant, I felt revitalized. Today, I was to embark on the second step of corn planting, sowing seeds followed by covering them with soil. Each pit required 34 kernels of corn seeds, along with some fertilizer. The seed system provided the seeds, and I had already purchased the fertilizer en route. This was the first time for the driver, Xiao Wang, to drive a Maybach to the agricultural market to buy fertilizer. Next, I had to fill in the 4,000 pits. I wielded the hoe mercilessly, as if I were burying not corn kernels, but the heads of the 4 prominent young masters. Just as the 10 hours of unlimited energy came to an end, the system notification echoed in my mind. Ding! Today's corn planting task is completed. 23. Task reward. Unlimited energy for 10 hours. Based on my rudimentary agricultural knowledge, I anticipated a few days of respite, as it takes about a week for corn kernels to sprout into seedlings. However, on the third day, the farming system insisted I return to the field. Upon my arrival, I was greeted by towering corn stalks, exuding the sweet fragrance of corn. The plump ears of corn, golden and glistening, made it evident that they were ripe for harvest. The final step of planting corn is to harvest it. Typically, a corn stalk yields around 12 ears of corn. On average, each stalk produces 2 ears. With 4,000 stalks, I could harvest 8,000 ears of corn from a single acre. Yet it was impossible for me to complete the task alone in just one day. The planting system reassured me. Farmer, do not worry. You only need to pluck 1 ear of corn for this task to be considered complete. I promptly plucked an ear of corn, and the system's notification chimed in my mind. Congratulations, farmer. You have completed the task of planting 1 acre of corn within 3 days. 33. Task rewards. 1. Unlimited energy for 80 hours. 2. This corn field will have a shelf life of 30 days. 3. The farmer will receive rewards from the system at a rate of 10 yuan per ear of corn sold. This means I have 30 days to sell the 8,000 ears of corn. Thus, I decided to refrain from harvesting today until I secured a market for my produce. On my way back, I sold the only ear I had harvested that day to driver Xiao Wang. I priced it at 10 yuan, in line with the system's pricing, fair and square. Xiao Wang appeared quite pleased. I was equally elated. For in addition to the 10 yuan from Xiao Wang, I also received the 10 yuan reward from the system. That evening, as I lay in bed contemplating how to establish a market, an epiphany struck me. I retrieved my long-neglected Haiwang phone. The notifications had amassed to 99. Ignoring them, I added these 500 messages to a group chat, whimsically naming it Hairline Protection Association. I also changed my Haiwang V profile name to A Farmer. A Farmer. Dear family, I have extraordinary news. The boss planting corn and his sister-in-law have run off. Corn that originally cost 20 yuan each is now only 10 yuan. Guaranteed fresh picked from the field. Come on, babies, who want some benefits? If you desire benefits, just type corn in the group chat. Instantly, the group erupted in chaos. A flurry of question marks erupted like missiles. Qingyuan, I've sent you so many messages and you didn't respond, but now you're selling corn in the group? Hurry up and reply to me. A farmer. If you want me to reply privately, buy 10 ears of corn first. Ku chai. Little two, who are all these people? Why did you drag me in here? Where have you been these days? A farmer. Who is little two? Ku chai sent a furious emoji and followed up with a voice message, nearly bursting with rage. Ku chai. Who is little two? Didn't you say your name was little two? What on earth is going on? A farmer. Buy 10 ears of corn, and you will know the truth. Wang Ertzong. How many ears of corn do you have? I'll buy them all. Hurry and reply to me privately. Though his message quickly got buried, I still managed to see it. I quoted his message. All right. Thank you, brother Wang Ertzong, for directly purchasing all 8,000 ears of corn. Today, as corn is sold out. Subsequently, I muted the group chat and began a private conversation with Wang Erkong. Wang Ertsong was quite straightforward. As soon as I entered the chat window, he sent a transfer of 100,000 yuan. Before I could even accept the payment, Wang Ertsong messaged me. Wang Ertsong, woman, are you challenging my limits? I replied, uh-huh. Wang Ertsong, woman, no one has ever dared to ignore my messages. I replied, uh-huh.
Wang Erkong, woman.
Why haven't you sent me good morning and good night messages these past few days? Is there someone else? I scrolled through the chat history between the original owner and Wang Erkong. It became apparent that Ning Chenchen would send him a good morning and good night message daily, treating him equally. Their exchange consisted solely of a good morning from Ning Chenchen, followed by a response from Wang Ertsong, and similarly for good night, with no other conversations. Though I felt somewhat bewildered, I quickly explained, Song brother, I initially intended to interact with you as an ordinary person, but now I must come clean. I am, in fact, a humble farmer, making a living through agriculture. Recently, I have been busy planting corn. The 8,000 ears of corn you purchased were all grown by my own hands. The corn is 10 yuan per ear, fair and square. I'll promptly return the extra 20,000 yuan you sent. After saying this, I accepted the payment and sent Wang Ertsong back 20,000 yuan. Wang Ertsong, woman, do you look down on me? Don't challenge my limits again. I want to use a woman's money. I replied, Song brother, that money is yours. Wang Ertsong, now it belongs to you. I replied, are you mad? Wang Ertsong, can you treat it? I remained speechless. Alas, I had no choice but to add a note to Wang Ertsong's name. Wang Ertsong owes 20,000. It took me 8 days to harvest the 8,000 ears of corn alone, and I promptly sent them all to Wang Erkong. That evening, Wang Kong sent a message. It's truly fascinating how you can dispatch a package in a single day, yet choose to stretch it over 8 days. Woman, I see through your little schemes. I almost let out a curse, but decided against it. Given his comprehension skills, he might not even realize I was insulting him. This time, planting corn yielded a total harvest of 160,000 yuan. According to the prices in this novel, that's enough to purchase a toilet. Such bright prospects lie ahead. Shortly thereafter, the system announced the second farming task. Please plant 1 acre of watermelons within 3 days. 03. The first step was to clear the weeds and dig holes. The spacing for planting watermelons required 2 meters between rows, with each pit spaced 50 centimeters apart and 30 centimeters deep. Thus, for 1 acre, I needed to prepare 650 planting pits, a significant reduction from the 4,000 pits required for corn. The second step involved tilling the soil and applying fertilizer. I specifically instructed the driver, Xiao Wang, to procure fertilizer formulated for watermelons. How professional. The third step was transplanting the seedlings. The system provided seedlings with 3 to 4 true leaves, which I simply placed into the pits. By the third day, as I gazed upon the sprawling acre of watermelons, my heart swelled with delight. I counted a total of 1,000 watermelons. Congratulations, farmer. You have completed the task of planting 1 acre of watermelons within 3 days. 33. Task rewards. 1. Unlimited energy for 80 hours. 2. This watermelon field will have a preservation period of 30 days. 3. Each watermelon sold will earn the farmer a reward of 100 yuan. That's a breezy 200,000 yuan in hand. That night, I rejoined my Sea King chat group. One farmer reminisced. I recall those carefree childhood days. You'd rush home, toss your backpack onto the chair, and dash into the alley, playing for an entire afternoon. After a long night of play, your mother would call you back, bringing out a watermelon from the well. Before I could continue to indulge in nostalgia, the chat buzzed with messages. Alley? What alley? ISN, the backpack, carried by a servant? Well. What well? It turned out the young master's childhoods were nothing like mine. Chai remarked, Xiao Tu, you finally showed up. Why haven't you replied to my messages? A farmer chimed in, I'd like to buy 10 watermelons in private messages. Chai replied, great. I'll buy. Wang Kong declared, how many watermelons? I'll take them all. Chai echoed, I'll take them all too. Qingyuan added, I'll take them all as well. Thus, throughout the summer vacation, I sustained myself by selling agricultural products in the group, netting a modest profit of 2 million yuan. On the eve of school reopening, I went shopping for dozens of outfits, as all my clothes had become impossibly oversized. Naturally, I charged it all to my father's card. With the 4 prominent families yet to ruin me financially, I intended to indulge. On the first day of school, I surprisingly overslept. After a hasty wash-up, I made sure to glance at myself in the mirror before leaving. Standing at around 175 centimeters, I wore a fitted black t-shirt paired with black jeans. My long hair was tied back in a ponytail, and a large backpack hung casually from my shoulder, exuding an air of confidence. I mused, system. With a figure like this, why not let me model instead of farming? Doesn't to your conscience ache? The farming system retorted, if you don't farm, you're still at 200 gene. As I stealthily slipped into the schoolyard, I found Si Qianlan addressing the assembly as the student representative. Observing my fellow classmates barely awake, Si Qianlan clenched her fists, her body trembling slightly, as if she were making a monumental decision. Today, I must address a matter concerning my good friend Ning Chenchen. Chenchen has a phone with the WeChat contacts of 500 male students from our school. She has manipulated her photos to appear much slimmer, deceiving these 500 male students into believing that this is her true appearance. Although Chenchen is my dear friend, I can no longer stand by and watch her continue down this path. Deceiving others' feelings is wrong. Chenchen, I hope you will come forward and apologize to these 500 male students. As she finished speaking, the school erupted in an uproar. Everyone craned their necks, searching for my presence. A cold smile crept onto my lips as I straightened my posture and strode confidently toward the podium. All eyes followed me as I ascended the platform. Upon my arrival, Si Qianlan's astonishment was palpable. Chenchen, how did you become so slim? Below, my classmates gaped in disbelief. I towered over Si Qianlan, who stood at 1.5 meters, and questioned, Si Qianlan, what do you want me to apologize for? Don't I look just like my photos? What exactly have I deceived them about? Si Qianlan's expression was vacant, her gaze lowered in contemplation. After a moment, she seemed to remember something, murmuring, but you shouldn't deceive their feelings. Just then, a handsome boy with a physique as solid as an iron pillar interjected, his fists clenched and face flushed. I actually wish she had deceived my feelings. Ask her, during the entire summer, aside from farming and selling produce, did she ever care about me? Brother, who are you? I inquired. The towering young man, standing at 1.9 meters, shot me a scathing glance that seemed to imply I was a heartless traitor. Woman, you don't even know who I am? Now I do.
Kong.
Wang Kong snorted lightly, though his tone lifted at the end. I'm Wang Kairui. Then another exquisitely handsome youth called out, Xiao Tu. I'm Ku S Chai. My name is Bai Cha, remember it. Sister, I'm Qing Yuan, Zhong Qing Yuan. The entire playground buzzed with excitement, resembling a lively offline fan meeting. Si Qianlan's eyes suddenly glistened with tears, her expression one of pity. She pouted, gently tugging at my sleeve. That's wonderful. Chenchen? It turns out you added them to sell products. You are my best friend. I revealed all this because I was worried you would continue down the wrong path. Can you forgive me? Forgive? The original Ning Chenchen had sacrificed her life due to Si Qianlan's actions, so I certainly would not grant her forgiveness. Narrowing my eyes, a chill enveloped me as I replied, Si Qianlan, may I borrow a few layers of your skin? Considering how many layers you have, losing a few shouldn't be an issue, right? Presumptuous. Ning Chenchen, how dare you speak to Qianlan like that? A sharp voice interrupted me. A frail man with gold-rimmed glasses stepped onto the podium, shielding Si Qianlan behind him. The farming system noted, he is one of the 4 young masters, Guxiaoxi, known colloquially as Western Poison. I remarked, if I were in the fields right now, I'd have plowed 50 acres single-handedly. Guoqiaoxi smirket goldli, ning ten. I command you to apologize to Qianlan. I crossed my arms, leaning down to scrutinize Guxiaoxi. You're not even taller than the Shandong scallions in my field, so stop trying to act like a domineering boss. Time seemed to freeze for a few seconds. Guxiaoxi's face contorted in disbelief. Even the muscles in his cheeks twitched. He clutched his chest, stammering. Why you the other 3 young masters could no longer remain seated and approached the podium. The 4 young masters consisted of 1 at 1.6 meters and 3 at 1.55 meters. It is no wonder that the Western Poison took the lead. It appears that he has become the face of their quartet. The demeanor of these 4 individuals is so feeble that I could easily send one flying with a mere punch. The Eastern hero commanded, kneel and apologize to Qianlan. Meanwhile, the Southern and Northern contradictions stood behind with expressions akin to spectators relishing a performance. I chuckled softly. If you want me to apologize to Si Qianlong, I am amenable. But only if Si Qianlong answers me one question. Si Qianlong hastily replied, Chen, as long as you are willing to forgive me, I will do anything you ask. I pointed at the four young masters. Oh, you said it yourself. I'm not coercing you. So go ahead and slap them. Si Qianlong bit her lower lip. Casting a troubled glance my way, Chen, I'm truly sorry. The one in the wrong is me. I cannot strike someone indiscriminately. After all, they have done nothing wrong. I smiled, the curve of my lips laced with disdain. In your eyes, they are certainly blameless. For these four loyal followers are your devoted acolytes. The reason you can pose as a paragon of justice in this aristocratic school, still standing unscathed today, is precisely because they are shielding you. Si Qianlong. I simply wish to know, among these four, whom do you favor? Spare me the diversions. Just utter one name. With that, I awaited her response. She glanced back at the four young masters standing behind her, each of them gazing at her with eager anticipation. Si Qianlong's cheeks flushed crimson. My relationship with these classmates is merely that of ordinary classmates. Chen, please do not speak recklessly. I countered. Is it the kind of ordinary relationship where you reside in their households? During the 2-month summer vacation, you spent 15 days at each of their homes. You truly are reaping the benefits from all sides. The Western poison staggered back, clutching his chest, coughing several times. His mouth hung agape as he stammered for a while. Qianlong, did you not say you were staying with relatives? So you were actually living with them. The other three stared wide-eyed at each other, clearly unaware of the fact that Si Qianlong had stayed 15 days in each of their homes. This was a secret known only to the system. However, since Si Qianlong so relishes exposing others' privacy, I decided to let her experience the sensation. Si Qianlong looked at them with guilt. I'm sorry. I didn't wish to hurt you. That day, I was driven out by Chen and had nowhere to go, which forced me to reach out to you. I never imagined you would all be willing to lend me your homes. I did not know how to refuse your kindness, so I devised such a foolish plan. With tears welling in her eyes, Si Qianlong spoke earnestly, leaving the Western poison at a loss for how to direct his anger. Frustrated, he delivered a playful punch to the Eastern hero beside him. The Eastern hero retaliated with a playful jab in return. The Southern and Northern contradictions rushed forward to mediate, yet found themselves caught in the crossfire. Thus, the four powerless young masters became embroiled in a chaotic scuffle, while Si Qianlong stood by, attempting to mediate, her tears flowing uncontrollably. As I descended from the stage, the leaders of the aristocratic school suddenly seemed to regain their composure and intervened to halt the harmless fray. They also issued an announcement. Tomorrow, the entire school will conduct a physical fitness test. The first place will receive a reward of 500,000. Upon returning home after school, I discovered a red seal affixed to the gate of our villa. Ning Qinchen's parents sat on the steps in a daze. To be fair, the four young masters certainly do not suffer from procrastination. This is a commendable trait. I drove the Wuling Hongguang I had purchased recently and took them to settle in my small apartment. At 4 a.m., I rose early to harvest 500 ears of corn from the fields, which I brought to the school cafeteria to prepare. By this time, the sun had already risen. I set up a small stall at the entrance of the school to sell the cooked corn, priced at 10 yuan each, with no deceit involved. The pot of corn emitted a rich aroma. Taking a bite, I found it soft, sticky, and sweet. After placing a QR code on the table, I picked up my copy of Agricultural Festival and began to read. One must love what they do. Before long, students began to arrive at school one after another. Many were drawn in by the enticing scent of the corn. However, students from the aristocratic school might feel somewhat burdened by their status and hesitate to munch on corn in public. Just as everyone was in a quandary, Wang Kong arrived. Why aren't you selling corn in the group anymore? I raised my head and replied, I can't just cater to the whims of 500 of you. The corn tastes great, and I want to explore other avenues for sales. Wang Kong looked somewhat annoyed. Who told you to focus on them? You should be focusing on me. I bought all the corn. We have the physical test today, so hurry and rest. I pointed to the sign on the table, which stated a limit of 10 ears per person. Wang Kong ground his back teeth, pulling out his phone to send a message. Within 10 minutes, a long queue formed in front of me. Who else could it be but the 500 oblivious souls from the group? In less than half an hour, the corn was sold out. Wang Kong even brought a few people to deliver the insulated containers filled with corn to the cafeteria. At 9 a.m., we gathered in the school playground to commence the physical fitness test. Wang Kong sought me out. I just heard from the cafeteria staff that you went to cook corn at 5 a.m. Today's physical test will require substantial exertion. Do you need to take a leave? Kong, you're still too young. With boundless energy, I even considered running a 10,000 meter race to release some steam. I shot him a mischievous smile. Kong, how about a bet? The loser has to grant the winner one request. Wang Erkong's face flushed like he had consumed strong liquor. The 1.9 meter tall man fidgeting with the hem of his shirt. If you think you can make me your boyfriend, it won't be that easy. I'm not so easily won over, I responded. Sensing my disapproval, Wang Kong quickly amended, if I win, I'll agree to your request. I rolled my eyes. No need to win. I'll agree right now. Don't go. You don't need to chase. I'll pursue you. Oh dear, I misspoke. I'll pursue you. I'll pursue you. The students of the aristocratic school place a high premium on fitness. Almost every household employs a personal trainer. Thus, the standards set for the physical fitness test are rather stringent. The first item tested is the BMI index. The body mass index, or BMI, is a measure that assesses body weight relative to height, serving as a standard to gauge whether an individual is underweight, normal, overweight, or obese. Students lined up to step onto the unforgiving machine that measures their BMI. Why unforgiving? Because it loudly announces each individual's height, weight, and BMI. Finally, it was the turn of the 4 young masters, and I was ready to enjoy the spectacle. Western Poison. Height 160 centimeters, weight 46 kilograms, BMI 18, underweight. Eastern Hero. Height 155 centimeters, weight 43 kilograms, BMI 18. 3, underweight. Southern Contradiction. Height 154 centimeters, weight 42 kilograms, BMI 17, 7, underweight. Northern Contradiction. Height 153 centimeters, weight 41 kilograms, BMI 17, 5, underweight. Following the incident from yesterday's fight, the 2 from the west and south stood together, while the 2 from the north and east formed their own group, hinting at a potential rift. Behind the northern contradiction was me, Ning Chinchen, height 175 centimeters, weight 60 kilograms, BMI 19, 6, normal. I was not originally behind Wang Kong. I had no idea how he switched places and ended up behind me. Wang Kairuwei, height 191 centimeters, weight 80 kilograms, BMI 21, 6, normal. Standing aside, the 4 prominent young masters gazed up at Wang Kong, shedding tears of envy. When Wang Kong descended from the measuring apparatus, he deliberately positioned himself next to the 4 young masters. Why is it so hot? Is it because my 190 centimeters height is too close to the sun? I surveyed my surroundings and noted that Si Qianlong was absent from school today. The system informed me that after I revealed yesterday that she had stayed with each young master for 15 days during the summer break, her classmates had been gossiping about her behind her back. The school forum was flooded with posts, some claiming she was ensnaring the 4 young masters, while others accused her of lacking self-respect by residing in the boys' homes. There were even posts directly inquiring how many young masters she had slept with. This post had one soared to the top, shaming Si Qianlong to the point where she dared not show her face. Next came a series of tests including vital capacity, sit and reach, standing long jump, pull-ups, and sit-ups. Of course, aside from the explosive power tests, I remained unfazed and secured first place. In comparison, the 4 young masters appeared as pale, as if they were on the verge of collapse. The final event of the day was a 2,000-meter long-distance run. Wang Kong completed it in 8 minutes and 20 seconds, the best time thus far. Meanwhile, the 4 young masters took 13 minutes, with one being assisted off the track. Competing in the girls' category, I breezed through with a time of 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Had I not feared being recruited as a long-distance runner, I could have easily run faster, for my body felt no fatigue and could maintain a steady pace indefinitely. After school, my classmates were exhausted, their legs feeling as though they were laden with lead. When boarding the chauffeur-driven car, they had lost their usual grace, practically rolling and crawling into it. In contrast, I soared like a swallow to the free parking lot a kilometer away from the school. I retrieved my Wuling Hongguang and headed to the farm to plant Shandong green onions. Planting these onions was a laborious task, with a row spacing of 1 meter. 35 seedlings must be planted per meter. A single acre required 20,000 seedlings. Fortunately, the system had allocated ample time for this task, allowing me to proceed leisurely. The following day, the physical tests continued. Today's assessments were even more stringent than yesterday's. Freestyle swimming for 2,000 meters had a passing mark of 70 minutes. with times under 60 minutes considered excellent and under 50 minutes achieving full marks. Si Qianlong returned to school today as a pivotal scene awaited her in the narrative. To illustrate Si Qianlong as the beloved of the four young masters, the plot orchestrated a scene where she would drown and be rescued by them. To elevate the prestige of the elite school, today's swimming assessment took place on a private beach. Although lifeguards were present, they vanished when the protagonist began to drown. Just as despair enveloped her, the four young masters appeared like princes, rescuing her and inciting envy among the other female students. Observing the heights of the young masters, I seriously doubted whether the other girls would feel anything but disdain. Naturally, none of this concerned me. I envisioned myself as a frog evolved into a human, swimming with swift strokes. Midway through the swim, Si Qianlong began to cramp, mirroring the script, and started to drown. The four young masters hastened towards her, but her flailing made it impossible for them to pull her ashore. With no choice left, Guo Xiaoxi swam beneath her, attempting to push her above water. As her body sank, Si Qianlong instinctively pushed down on Guo Xiaoxi, desperate to find balance. Ultimately, she achieved equilibrium, being dragged by three of the young masters towards the shore. Guo Xiaoxi struggled for a while, but soon seemed to lose all strength and began to sink. The other three young masters and Si Qianlong were oblivious to Guo Xiaoxi's plight and continued to swim ahead. Casting a disdainful glance at Guo Xiaoxi, I swiftly swam towards him from behind, controlling him and guiding him back to the surface. After tossing Guo Xiaoxi onto the shore, he stared at me in shock, about to utter something, but I turned and plunged back into the water to continue the competition. Splendidly, I completed the 2,000 meters in 40 minutes, while also managing to save someone. Upon receiving the 500,000 for achieving first place in the physical test, I found myself in a quandary. This money was not earned from farming. The four young masters could be dealt with. I needed to spend it quickly. After school, I ventured into the impoverished district depicted in the novel, found a hospital, and ascended to the rooftop. After a moment of contemplation, I noticed a mother weeping silently, a father trembling as he chain-smoked, and a grandfather limping and sighing as he stared at the few coins left in his hand. How fortunate I was to possess 500,000. Donning a mask, I deposited the money into their hospital's medical account. Keep fighting, strangers. My days unfolded in a routine manner. Most of the produce from the farm was supplied to the school cafeteria, while a small portion was sold either in the WeChat groups or at stalls. However, the plot surrounding Si Qianlong and the four young masters began to veer increasingly off course. Following the incident at sea, Guo Xiaoxi surprisingly began to confront members of the other three families. The business war among the four families was fierce. Today, the Shi family sent someone to slash the seat cushions of the Dong family's 200 shared bicycles. Tomorrow, the Dong family would upload 100 explicit images to the app developed by the Shi family, leading to a report. The day after, the Shi family dispatched cleaners to the Nan family to sabotage their internet connection every half hour. The day after that, the Nan family retaliated against the Shi family, brazenly storming the office to seize the company seal. Meanwhile, the Bei family, while treating partners to a meal, had 10 dishes stealthily switched to cucumber salad by the Shi family. The realities of business warfare are often starkly mundane. Seizing this opportunity, the Wang family voraciously devoured market share, shattering the previous monopoly of the four families over the entire economic landscape depicted in the novel. During this period, the four young masters, engrossed in their business battles, had no time to spare for Si Qianlong. Ever since the three young masters had rescued her from the sea, rumors about her intensified and grew increasingly ludicrous. At school, those who disapproved of Si Qianlong began to take action against her. Ultimately, Si Qianlong could no longer endure the torment and climbed to the rooftop of the school building. She dangled her legs over the railing. Police, rescue teams, and media swarmed the scene one after another. Soon, an eye-catching headline surged to the top of the trending topics. A poor student publicly humiliated and bullied at an elite school jumps from the rooftop. Numerous self-media outlets began live broadcasts from below, attempting to capture the moment. Oblivious to the unfolding drama, I was in the cafeteria cooking corn when I received a call from my homeroom teacher. Apparently, after negotiations, Si Qianlong expressed a desire to meet with me. At the school rooftop, upon seeing me approach, Si Qianlong turned her head. She clutched the railing tightly, her face etched with despair. Ning Chuncheng, you exposed my privacy publicly, leading me to this point. I considered you my best friend, believing you were different from the others. I never imagined you would be as malicious as the other wealthy girls. I regarded her with a calm demeanor. Was it not you who first exposed my privacy publicly? You revealed mine once, and I revealed yours once. It is quite fair. She cried out, it is not fair. You were not affected at all. What about me? I am bullied and mocked every day. I reassured her, do not fear, I will face this with you. She finally succumbed to her emotions and screamed, you are not me. You cannot possibly understand my feelings. What do you have to face this with me? Unable to suppress my sarcasm, I retorted, Si Qianlong. Do you not find my words familiar? A knife has been plunged into you, and now you understand the pain? I once had a dream, in which you publicly exposed my privacy during the opening ceremony. At that moment, you fervently vowed to face everything alongside me. Yet, I succumbed to the pressures of public opinion and leapt from the building, while my family was driven to bankruptcy by the 4 prominent families. Meanwhile, you reveled in a shameless existence with the 4 young masters. However, unlike you, my fall was discreet, as I chose an abandoned building to leap from. I feared that others might suffer misfortunes because of me. If you truly wish to end your life, refrain from making such a spectacle. Your desire to perish does not negate the will of others to live. Upon hearing my words, the negotiation expert hastily pulled me away. This was not an attempt to dissuade her from jumping. It was, in fact, coercing her to do so. After a while, Si Qianlong atop the building requested to see the 4 young masters. All but Guixiaoxi arrived. If romantic obsession had a hierarchy, these 3 young masters would undoubtedly be at the pinnacle. They joined Si Qianlong on the railing. Below, a crowd gathered, relishing the drama, continuously shouting, jump, jump, hurry up and jump, stop pretending. If you're afraid to jump, then get lost. Exactly, don't waste everyone's time. It was unclear which remark struck a chord with Si Qianlong, but she indeed took the plunge. The other 3 young masters followed suit, akin to the heroic children rescuing their grandfather. Si Qianlong's leap was not born from a genuine desire to end her life. Rather, a colossal air cushion awaited her below. However, the outcome was far from her expectations. The air cushion had mysteriously lost half its inflation, resulting in insufficient bounce. She and the 3 young masters sustained severe injuries, resulting in paraplegia. Ultimately, the police discovered that Guixiaoxi had orchestrated the tampering of the air cushion, instructing his men to deflate it upon seeing the 3 young masters perched on the railing, while simultaneously urging them to jump. Given the relentless media attention surrounding the incident, even the powerful Guixiaoxi could not escape the consequences. On the day Guixiaoxi was sentenced, I was in the fields harvesting Shandong scallions.
Ding.
Congratulations on unlocking the farmer's task. Congratulations on your promotion from farmer to farm owner. From today onward, you may contract farmers to assist you in completing agricultural tasks. I exclaimed, at last, I can rise and sing. Upon returning home, I took out my smartphone and sent a mass message. Extraordinary news. Extraordinary news. The farming experience, originally priced at 200 yuan, is now only 99 yuan. The next day, I beheld 500 unsuspecting souls laboring to dig holes on my 50 acres of land. A subtle smile graced my lips. Ning Chunchen, this spectacle unfolds just as you wished.
Ding.
Congratulations on completing the farm owner task. This system can grant you one wish. I replied, then please bring Ning Chunchen back. Her parents are still here. The farming system responded, certainly. Before departing, I left Ning Chunchen a letter. Ning Tenchen, greetings. A renowned teacher from my world once stated, you must resolutely and repeatedly save yourself from the fires and waters of this world, without hesitation. The reason we strive is to grasp our fate firmly in our hands, to live with dignity and confidence in this sometimes unreasonable world, and to possess greater agency and options. When fortune smiles upon you, you will feel deserving. It is the beauty you are entitled to. It is never too late, as long as you begin to act. I hope that across different times and spaces, we can strive together. Wishing you well. Upon opening my eyes again, my roommate was calling me from the bedside. Ning Chunchen, why are you still asleep? It's 8 a.m. We have Professor Li's agricultural microbiology class. Seeing my reluctance to rise, my roommate revealed another sensational piece of news. Ning Chunchen, don't say I didn't look out for you. I have a first-hand scoop. A 190 centimeters tall senior is transferring here. I heard his family is incredibly wealthy. He was studying abroad, but for some reason, he suddenly decided to come to our school. To facilitate his transfer, he reportedly donated 100 acres of land for a 70-year lease to the school. Why is it that all the Wangs are so affluent? I responded. The end of the text. Thank you for listening. We shall meet again in the next story.